Here's the messy shop. There's the RM250. I have all those parts in stock. I just got them yesterday, as a matter of fact. I got a new top end kit with a Wiseco Performance piston. Their Pro Light series. To do the top end, I got a gasket kit, and then I got all the parts to do the water pump. I got both bearings, the impeller. I bought a new impeller, and then I bought the inner and outer seals. So I just need to get to that. But before I get to that, what are we going to do? Bucket forks. There's the lathe. I took that all apart the other day and oiled it up. See, it's stuck nice. I hadn't cleaned that. I hadn't given that a thorough breakdown and cleaning in 6 months at least, maybe even closer to 10 months. Anyhow, put on my gloves. I took everything apart, wiped it all down, oiled everything up, put it back together, and now in between uses I think I'm going to keep this plastic on there to keep the dust and dirt from what I do in here getting on there. I have the beehives I'm going to work on. There's the other Deep Super that I'm going to put on. Nice dovetails. I just built those a couple weeks ago in anticipation of this nuke actually working. So anyhow, I hope this year I can add another box. I think we have enough time. I don't know, we'll see. And there's the nuke that has successfully reared to both my colonies that I have now. And I built that in about 35 minutes with scrap plywood. I'd like to take the time to paint it now. I would like to make this more of a permanent structure. I know I built it with plywood, 3/4 ply. My thinking of that was because I had a bunch of it, so I had to get rid of some of it. It was already used, as you can tell. There was some kind of bracket on here at some point in time. I think this was a shelf, if I'm not mistaken, that I pulled out of a kitchen that I was remodeling. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I just butted them up. I did glue it, so this is a super tight box, and obviously it works. But my intention is to cut out these slits. I just cut these with the circular saw to give them some ventilation, but I'd like to, as you can see, they sure like gluing them shut. I clear that out about every week, but they need ventilation, otherwise they're going to cook in there. And then this is what the inside of the box looks like after rearing 2 colonies. You notice there's a little bit of funk here in the corner. I did scrub this box out really good and set it out in the sun, let the ultraviolet get at it before I raised this last nuke split. You see, I don't want to bleach it because I don't want to put them through that, but before I came in with a heat gun and I really cooked this out, and then I set it in the sun and dried it out really good. But my intention now is to cut this bottom out of it, put a screen bottom board and an inspection board. This is the front. On the back I'm going to build a little landing pad for them here and kind of redo the entrance restrictor. This is kind of nice because I can gauge, depending on their population, how much I pull that back to allow for an opening. But that'll be for another video, and then I'll paint this. But what we're doing today is I will show you. So here's what I'd like to get done today. I'd like to build a couple of bucket forks for that 1948 8N tractor we have up at the ranch. This is my very crude drawing of what I would like to have transpire. Sorry, I almost fell over there. If you will recall, the shape of the bucket on that Wagner front end loader is kind of a C, right? So you've got a curve that comes down here, and then you've got your flat bottom. I'm going to have it cut out here. I have some rectangular stock steel here in the yard. A little bug right there. And these are the dimensions. That's what I'm going to use. Overall width from here to here is going to be 48 inches. I think the stuff I have is 2x4 or 3x5. I'll have to take a look. It's 3/16 thick. It's a little rusty, so it may be a little bit thinner than that in some areas, but I'm not looking to lift the world. This throat right here that slips over the bottom of the bucket is going to be 18-inch deep. That's as max as I want to get it. And the width of this cut is 2 5/8 of an inch. And that's generally what I'm going to do, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that without taking too much time talking about it. But I don't know. My intention on this is just to be pretty much a log mover. If you remember, the loader on that is rated at about 400 or 500 pounds. So I don't have to make this absolutely bulletproof. Well, I say that it's kind of tongue-in-cheek because everything I built is way overbuilt, in my opinion. But I don't have to build something that's going to lift 2,000 pounds. That bucket pretty much pressure releases out at about 450, 500 pounds. We were lifting some rocks with it. trying to lift cars with it, just to get an idea of what it can lift. So the pressure relief will pop off, but I think this will be plenty strong the way I'm going to build it. And another thing too on using this thick rectangular stock is I don't plan on lifting pallets with it. If I were looking to lift pallets with it, I would modify an existing bucket forks. You know, that would be solid steel, like inch or 1.125" steel that come out, so you get your strength and I still have a thin blade for your fork. That's not my intention. I don't ever plan on moving pallets with that thing. I don't see any reason why I'd have to. This is pretty much just forks that are going to move logs on and off the sawmill and potentially be used as a brush rake, even though I don't have a lot of brush to clear, and the slash piles that I do make when I cut down trees, the dead trees for firewood, I burn in place. So I don't have to move a lot of slash around. If I'm trimming the trees up, usually I'll just throw the slash directly in the back of the 46, which has a dump bed. But anyhow, let me show you the inventory of stock that I'm going to use, and let's get it cutting.